and we're underway. Anthony Carter coming out of the end zone to the 10, 15. Carter may break it. 30, 40, and Anthony brought down at the 50-yard line. The All-American wide receiver, it's Cedric Anderson and Bob Afa, who picked off, finally catching up with him.
Mr. Excitement, Anthony Carter. Here is one of the great all-purpose players in Big Ten history, Anthony Carter, number 1, doing one of the many things that he does that makes him Mr. Excitement. Great on returns, career receiving leader, on the verge of becoming that, and also dangerous on reverses.
52-yard run back for Carter, first down. Michigan at the Ohio State 48-yard line. They operate out of the I. Woolfolk is the tailback, and that's Edwards, the fullback, for a gain of 1 to the 47. The sophomore quarterback who's really come into his own in the last 4 games. Stan Edwards, durable fullback, and Butch Woolfolk, who leads the Big Ten in rushing. There's Carter, the man who ran the kickback. He'll be all over the field today. The other wideout is number 27, Vince Bean. Second down, 9 at the 47-yard line. They send Bean to the right and split Carter to the left. Edwards, the fullback, Woolfolk, the tailback in the I. Off the play fake, Smith setting up, good protection, but the throw incomplete. Intended for Carter. Doug Hill covering. Up front, William Bubba Parrish is the left tackle. Stephen Humphreys, 240-pound sophomore. Tom Dixon in the middle at 236. Kurt Becker is outstanding, an Outland Trophy finalist. And the right tackle also outstanding, Ed Moransky. It's a terrific front line. Norm Betts, the tight end. Right now, Jerry DiOrio is in there at a guard spot in place of Stephen Humphreys on 3rd down and 9 from the 47. Smith, good protection over the middle to Craig Dunaway, the other tight end, who gets close to a first down. We'll see where they mark it. At about the 39-yard line, Marcus Merrick made the stop, and we'll have a measurement. Well, just inside the 39.
A look at the leading tackler on the team. Well, Penn State is known as linebacker U, but Ohio State also has quite a tradition of linebackers, and here is the latest in that tradition.
And you could probably tell by the roar over the replay. First down for Michigan. Up front, Ohio State with Foster, Miller, and Ream. Then you've got Griggs and DeAndrea outside as the linebackers, Cobb and Merrick inside, and a very young, inexperienced, and porous secondary. Teams have been passing with tremendous success against the Buckeyes this season. First down, Michigan at the Ohio State 38-yard line. On the option, Smith, who has excellent speed. A flag is thrown as Smith gets to the 34-yard line. Glenn Cobb, the linebacker, number 35, making the tackle, and a marker down. First penalty of the game. Referee is Tom Quinn, and it's holding against the Wolverines.
Steve Smith running the option play that time, and as you pointed out, Al, he has excellent speed. In fact, for the first 20 yards, they say that he might be the fastest man on the team. He runs a 20-yard dash in 2.6. He runs the 40 in 4.5, so he really can be a threat on the option play.
Bo Schembechler was extremely high on Smith. He was highly recruited, and last year as a freshman, he didn't see a great deal of action.
Well, there was a fellow named Wangler there.
John played most of the season, did a fine job, but Bo knew that it would be Smith who would be his man this year, and Schembechler stayed with Smith despite the fact that Steve had a lot of problems earlier in the season, and it's paid off, as we pointed out graphically in the pregame show, what he's done over the past 4 games. Penalty moving it back to the 47-yard line. First down and 18. Smith, a lot of time again, looks for Bean. A flag goes down as Bean makes the catch anyway at the 28-yard line. It was Sean Gale coming over the top, and the interference call on Gale, but that's moved right now because he caught it anyway.
Once again, play action fake. fakes to the tailback. Bean, the wide receiver on the left, is running a curl-in route. Now the coverage by Gale is good. The interference is obvious. He makes the catch. They're going to decline the penalty, I would assume, and that will give Michigan another key first down.
What they'll do is they'll take the play if it nets more than the first down itself. That's the question right here. They're going to measure at the moment. Bring the change in on the interference call at the 28-yard line. If they take the penalty, of course, it's the automatic first down.
They told me I could. No, I'm sorry. I'll check it. You know, they told me I could. Okay. They told me. Okay.
And they picked up the first down anyway. Penalty declined.
So far, pretty much what Bo Schembechler told us during the pregame show, the right balance between running and passing. He said he would not let the weather affect his team.
Actually, yesterday it looked like we might be in for a really rough time weather-wise. It snowed last night. Mentioned before, the field was covered, however. They took the tarp off today, and the artificial surface is in good shape. Relatively dry. Had a few flurries this morning, so there's a slight bit of glaze on the turf. First down, Michigan to the 28-yard line. Give it to Woolfolk. Butch takes it to the 25. Gain of close to 3. Second and 7.
The career rushing leader for Michigan. Earlier this year, he surpassed Rob Lytle. And they have had some good runners through the years. I think a lot of the pro scouts right now feel that Butch Woolfolk could possibly be the first running back chosen in next year's pro draft.
His figures for the season averaging 5.7 per carry. Second down. Call it 7 at the 25-yard line. Smith protected well again and intercepted at the 5-yard line by Doug Hill. The pass, a floater. Norm Betts was the intended receiver. Good coverage, and the pass just hung. And so Ohio State takes over deep in its own territory.
Play action fake. It looks like a mix-up momentarily. Good protection. He's aiming for Betts, the tight end. And here is Gale, number 27, with perfect timing, stepping in front of Betts, who was running a sideline and up route from his tight end position. Make that Doug Hill his third interception of the year.
Doug Hill giving the Buckeyes possession just outside their own 5-yard line. First down, Ohio State. Art Schlichter, the quarterback. Tim Spencer and Vaughn Broadnex aligning now in the I are the running backs. Spencer is the tailback. He gets the ball, spins away from one man, and then gets out to the 8-yard line. You've got Schlichter closing out a terrific career. Vaughn Broadnex, the burly fullback, weighs 252. Spencer and Jimmy Gale both see a lot of action at tailback. Cedric Anderson had that great day against Purdue 3 weeks ago. Gary Williams, the Buckeyes' all-time leading receiver, on the other side. Second down, 7 from the 8-yard line, and Jimmy Gale is in the game, spelling Spencer a tailback, and Schlichter goes to the air for the first time, and incomplete, throwing it out of bounds at the 25-yard line, intended for Gary Williams, number 44. Up front, Bill Roberts at left tackle, 258 pounds. Zelensky weighs 248. Jim DeLeon, the man in the middle, but he's been injured of late. We might see a lot of Joe Dooley there. Lukens is outstanding at right guard. Joe Smith, 256, a junior from Cincinnati. And the tight end, the second leading receiver on the team, John Frank, who has caught 35 passes this season. Third down, 7 from the 8, and Spencer is back in at tailback. So they've alternated Spencer and Gale on the first 3 plays. Schlichter for his second pass over the middle and incomplete for a hard pass through the hands of Cedric Anderson. Rifled it.
Art Schlichter coming right out throwing the football despite the fact that he's deep in his own territory. Cedric Anderson, the second leading receiver on the team at his flanker position, is running a deep hook pattern. Now the ball was catchable, but it would have been a very good catch had he made it. That ball should have been thrown more at his chest. Schlichter under a little bit of pressure.
Carl Edwards, who took over the punting chores only last week. He'd been bothered to that point by a hamstring injury. He kicked 3 times in last week's game against Northwestern. and averaged 42 yards per catch. To boot it out of the end zone with Carter standing back at the 50-yard line as the single safety. Michigan trying to set up the return. The kick is end over end, and from the 47, it's Carter inside the 40, and Carter to the 29-yard line. Gary Williams making the stop. So Michigan in good shape at the Buckeye 29, 11:28 to go in the first quarter. No score at Ann Arbor. The Michigan Wolverines with the ball at the Ohio State 29-yard line. For late tuners in, again, just to briefly sum up the Big Ten race, if Michigan wins today, that's it. They win the Big Ten championship, go to the Rose Bowl. If Ohio State wins today, they then must await the outcome of the game between Michigan State and Iowa, being played at Iowa City. That game will start in about an hour and a half, and what Ohio State would need is a Michigan State victory. If Iowa were to win, then the Hawkeyes would go. First down, Wolverines at the 29. On the option, Smith down the line, tries to turn the corner and gets buried at the 28-yard line. Anthony Griggs turning him in, number 48, the outside linebacker.
Anthony Griggs made the tackle.
There is another one of the good men on Ohio State's defense, and they have some very active, swarming tacklers. The linebackers particularly seem to make most of the tackles for the Bucks.
Ohio State has been very good, as you can see, against the run this season.
Not good against the pass.
Exactly. That's the problem. Interestingly enough, these two teams are last and next to last in passing defense. Smith to the air. Got Carter at the 15-yard line. Anthony found an opening in the middle. Garcia Lane makes the tackle, first down at the 15-yard line.
Same action in the backfield for Steve Smith. He fakes to the tailback on the blast or isolation play. Anthony Carter from his left wide receiver spot is running the curl-in route, and the ball is thrown exactly at the numbers. Did you see where he caught that pass? Right on his number 1. One of the great all-purpose players in Big Ten history, and he's only a junior.
Carter has now caught a pass in 19 consecutive games. First down, Michigan at the Buckeye 15. No score, early first quarter. First man through, the fullback, Edwards, getting to the 7-yard line. Ed Moransky and Tom Dixon up front helped clear the path.
Awesome offensive line for the Wolves. What are they, about 270 across?
Strong, fast, open some big holes. And they do a great job in pass protection. Smith's had a lot of time thus far. Each time he's dropped back. Second down and a short 2 at the 7. With Dunaway in motion, they give it to Woolfolk. And Butch takes it just about to the 5. Close to a first down. Marcus Merrick in on the stop for the Buckeyes.
Marcus Merrick and Anthony Griggs.
Be very close to a first down. Perhaps calling for a measurement, but no. As they look over toward the sidelines and you look at Earl Bruce, the indication is that Michigan is about 6 inches shy.
Marcus Merrick has 128 tackles on the year. He had 140 last season.
He and Cobb, a great tandem as the inside linebackers. Third down, inches from the 6. Dunaway in motion. They give it to Edwards, and he dives over for the first down. Stanley Edwards, who has gained just 385 yards this season coming into today's game, but a man who picks up valuable yardage, as was the case there on 3rd and 4th and short.
Mostly a lead blocker for the tailback, but he has had, as Al just told you, 385 yards on the season. He has been a tailback himself at times, and the good one. That's called north and south running.
And a first and goal for Michigan. Inside the 5, 8:34 to go, first period. Again, they give it to Edwards. He bowls ahead to the 3. Glenn Cobb inside line.
Glenn Cobb, 98 tackles on the year. If you say Cobb or Merrick, you're usually right.
They seem to be in on most of the defensive plays. ninth in the country in scoring average. Second down and goal. Double tight end setup. The fake and the roll, and the pass intended for Edwards is incomplete. Garcia Lane covering in the corner. A man they don't often go to, trying to cross Ohio State up by faking and then going back to the fullback, but incomplete as Lane covers.
That's a good call down in there, though. I like the rollout pass with a little pickoff action. Now watch Edwards coming out of the backfield. You'll see that the tight end comes across. There's the rollout, and watch number 32. Now he is open momentarily, and had that ball thrown with a little softer touch, we would have had a Michigan touchdown.
A little high and a little hard, and it's third down and goal from the 3. Only to the 2 goes Edwards. So Schembechler with his first decision of the day. As Edwards goes straight ahead, and it's Nick Miller and Glenn Cobb converging for the tackle. So the ball is spotted at the 2-yard line. Fourth down and goal, and they will opt for 3, at least seemingly, as Ali Haji Sheikh comes in. Haji Sheikh has not had a particularly good year as far as field goals are concerned. Only 3 out of 8, though he's not missed an extra point. The longest of his 3 field goals this season, 42 yards. This one to be spotted at the 9. Straight in front of the goalpost, 19-yard attempt to try to put Michigan ahead, and the kick is good. So Carter sets up the drive with a punt run back, 6:59 to go in the period. Michigan on the board, 3-0 Wolverines. 6 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Michigan Wolverines trying to go to the Rose Bowl. On top, 3-0. Ali Haji Sheikh to kick off. Langley fielding from the 5. Victor up to the 10 and slips down at the 17-yard line. The Buckeyes with their second offensive possession as they spotted at the 18-yard line. First down. Those of you watching the Louisville Southern Mississippi game, we welcome you to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where the Wolverines are leading 3-0, and as soon as the technical problems are worked out, we will return those of you watching the Louisville Southern Mississippi game to that contest. Meanwhile, here in Ann Arbor, Art Schlichter, the Ohio State quarterback, leads the Buckeyes on 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line, and it's Tim Spencer. Stops shy of the line of scrimmage. Number 50, Paul Geargash, the linebacker for Michigan, making the stop.
Another great linebacker. Linebackers make most of the tackles, both of these defenses. The teams have a lot of similarities, really. 3-4 look to their defenses, I formation look to their offense. Very quarterback and tailback oriented, and they both have outstanding wide receivers.
And as usual, battling for the Big Ten championship. Flag is down as Schlichter throws over the middle, and Cedric Anderson can't hold on. Out at the 32-yard line with a marker dropped back at the 18. Referee Tom Quinn, illegal motion is the call against the Buckeyes.
From Art Schlichter's viewpoint, you see the fake of the sprint draw in the backfield. The protection is there. Now Cedric Anderson, the wide receiver, is running a curl-in route right there. He hit him right on the numbers, but he couldn't hold on to the football. Closing out a great career. He's had a remarkable career, one of the truly great quarterbacks in Big Ten history.
And yet look at the problems he has had against Michigan. 5 interceptions in the 3 prior games, only 1 touchdown pass. Penalty is declined after the incompletion. Third down 10 from the 17. Gale, the tailback, the fake to Gale. Schlichter setting up, has time. Right side complete out to the tight end Frank, who gets dropped at the 27-yard line. We'll see where they spot it, and from this vantage point, it looks like they will be shy of the first down by about a yard. Tony Jackson and Jerry Burguy converge to make the stop.
You called it right.
They are shy of the first down. Put it down to the 27-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1, and they'll have to kick it away. Anthony Carter to drop back deep for the Wolverines. There he is. ran the opening kickoff back 52 yards. Good punt run back, setting up the drive that culminated in a field goal. Carl Edwards, his last punt fielded by Carter, traveled 40 yards. Edwards with the wind at his back. Carter at the 25-yard line, looking for some room. Coming back the other way. The 30 and dumped at the 34-yard line. The Wolverines taken over there with 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the opening quarter. 3-0 Michigan. The Michigan Wolverines on top, 3-0, and they have the ball at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10 with 5 minutes and 6 seconds to play in the first quarter at Ann Arbor, Michigan. Temperature about 33 degrees at game time as Edwards, the fullback, takes it out to the 39-yard line. Stan, a senior from nearby Detroit, Marcus Merrick, in on the tackle, and Edwards momentarily slow in getting up, and he's fine. 2nd down and 5. Edwards has carried the ball 6 times. Picked up 17 yards. Pitch it to Woolfolk. Into some traffic. And ahead out to the 43-yard line goes Butch. It'll be 3rd down and about 2. Chris Ream, number 93, making the stop for the Buckeyes.
That's one of the bread and butter plays in the I formation, and Butch Woolfolk, who you saw just then, I think he's going to be one of the top players chosen in the pro draft. He's 6'2", 210 pounds, and he has sprinter's speed.
When you talk to the pro scouts, there's little doubt he may not get as much publicity as some of the other tailbacks in the country, including the man you're going to see in the second half of the doubleheader, Marcus Allen. But he's fast, durable, and done the job for Schembechler here. 3rd down and 2. Smith keeping. 1st down. Gets to midfield. Stopped at the 50 by Glenn Cobb. Steve Smith, you can see it graphically, of course, in the comparison between the first 6 games and the last 4. I think what happens with somebody like Smithley, and you're a former quarterback, you're a little tentative at first, you need some game experience, and all of a sudden it just seems to come, the poise with the experience.
Confidence plays such a role in that quarterback position, and you gain that only through experience. That has come in the second half of this season.
And despite struggling early in the year, Schembechler stayed with him, and it's paid off. 1st down from the 50. Woolfolk around the right side for a gain of 7. Jerome Foster made the stop, and Ed Moransky made the gain possible with a fine block.
Jerome Foster made the stop.
There's a variation of the old crossbuck or misdirection series.
It'll be 2nd down. Call it 2 after a gain of 8 from Los Angeles. The Trojans and the Bruins coming up next. Plus, Washington State will keep you fully abreast of what's happening there. Next weekend, Friday, Notre Dame against Miami. And then the doubleheader on Saturday, Penn State Pitt. And the Bear tries to pass Stagg as Alabama takes on Auburn. 2nd down, 2 from the 43. Woolfolk inside the 40 for the 1st down. Wrestles his way forward to the 36-yard line. Garcia Lane and Anthony Griggs converge for the tackle.
This is basic Bo Schembechler football. This is exactly the type of style he likes. Ball control football, get the ball to the tailback, tackle to tackle running, and then mix in some play action, high percentage passes. Textbook game plan so far for Bo.
Schembechler's team getting better and better this season, as was the case last year when they started out a staggering 1-2 and rolled on to the Rose Bowl. 1st down, Michigan at the 35-yard line. Woolfolk again, this time only a yard. Getting to the 34-yard line. Anthony Griggs, a senior out of Willingboro, New Jersey, number 48 right there, making the stop. Actually, Griggs will tell you, if you talk to him, he comes from the Planet Funk.
Planet Hope?
The Planet Funk. Love and Understanding are the keynotes on the Planet Funk.
All right.
He's serious about it, too.
I thought he was a transfer from Villanova. Oh, well.
Both.
Is Villanova near this other place?
I think so. Second down and 9 from the 34-yard line. Smith going over the middle and picked off. Intercepted by Marcus Merrick off the tip. And Merrick is dropped at the 18-yard line. Kelvin Bell deflected it, and Merrick makes the interception. And the Buckeyes have picked off a pair now.
Well, you've heard of the old tip drill that's run in practice from time to time now. Steve Smith throws this ball a little late because his receiver is open momentarily down the middle. Here's the tip by Bell. And here is Marcus Merrick, the great linebacker for Ohio State, the leading tackler on the team, and now adds an interception. Now from Merrick's viewpoint. You see what a linebacker has to do? He has to play the run first. Now he's chasing, and the ball is tipped right into his hands. That's a fortunate tip.
So the Buckeyes from the 18 with 1:05 to go in the quarter. Spencer straight ahead, getting out to the 21-yard line. Paul Geargash and Winford Caraway number 63, making the stop as Wolfo keeps warm.
It's that kind of day. Brought your mittens too, didn't you?
Absolutely. There was a
Thermos?
tremendous run on thermals in the Ann Arbor area last night. Time of possession, all Wolverines to this point. Second down, 7. Schlichter over the middle, man open at the 37-yard line. It's Cedric Anderson for the first down to the 38. Keith Bostic, number 13, the safety, making the tackle.
Cedric Anderson, the flanker, number 22, had 24 catches coming into today's game. Now here's his deep curl-in route. Actually, it's a deep hook. And there is a well-delivered pass by Art Schlichter, who had a little play action first. Good time. Delivered right on target.
Buckeyes with their best field position of the quarter. Their own 38. Only 9 seconds to play in the period and the clock running. On first down. Give it to Spencer and a big hole through the middle as he gets to midfield. First down at the 50. Clock is momentarily stopped with just 1 second remaining in the quarter. It will start up again in a moment, so that will do it for the first quarter. They start the clock, and there's your last tick. So when the second quarter begins, Ohio State will have the ball at midfield through 15 minutes of action. It's Michigan 3 and the Buckeyes nothing. Ann Arbor, Michigan. Al Michaels with Lee Groscup as we start the second quarter. Michigan on top 3-0. Chip shot field goal by Ali Haji-Sheikh, the only scoring thus far. And as we start period number 2, it's Ohio State just inside Michigan territory. First and 10. Williams is wide left. Anderson wide to the right. Schlichter gives it to Spencer. Another big hole inside the 40 and a first down at the 35-yard line. So on back-to-back plays, they've opened big holes for Spencer as Keith Bostic makes the tackle number 13.
Coming back with the same play, the sprint draw to the tailback. Tim Spencer came into today's game with 1,011 yards. He is a good one, especially running tackle to tackle. There's the story of the first quarter. And the bottom line, as far as Bo Schembechler is concerned, look at time of possession. 11-13 to 347. And in total yards, 91 to 45.
And yet only 3 points, and here Ohio State is threatening as Frank makes the catch. The tight end at the 28-yard line, his second reception of the day. Mike Boren, number 40, who had an outstanding day the last time we featured Michigan on a telecast against Notre Dame earlier in the season, makes the tackle. Gain of 6. Smith. Ohio State marching here. Second down 4 from the 29. Schlichter, as he did so often against Purdue, audibilizing and giving it to Spencer. And Spencer gets inside the 25 to the 23-yard line as Geargash and Boren converge for the tackle. And that will be another Buckeye first down. Impressive drive for Ohio State.
Eargash and Bourne, a fine tandem of linebackers for the Wolverines.
Spencer gets a breather here. Jimmy Gale comes in at tailback. He sees a lot of action. He's picked up 649 yards this season, number 26. Broadnax is the fullback. Schlichter now wants Gary Williams to set up on the other side, moving him to the left, Anderson to the right. 1st and 10. Art to the air, going over the middle to the tight end. Frank breaks a tackle at the 18-yard line and is smothered at the 15.
An impressive drive going now for the Buckeyes. Watch, he fakes to Spencer, who he's been using effectively as an inside runner. And here's Frank, the tight end, on a crossing route, number 89, crossing from right to left. And Mike Bourne, once again, the linebacker, gets the first hit.
2nd down and 2. Schlichter now 4 out of 7 for 40 yards. Spencer back in at tailback. Spencer spinning and getting close to the 12-yard line. Tony Osmond and Mike Bourne making the tackle. And Ohio State has picked up another first down. So the Buckeyes and Bruce, after the first down, Schlichter coming over. Imparts some information does Earl. His 3rd confrontation against Shem Beckler. And the Wolverines winning in '79, losing last season. First down, Ohio State at the 12. Michigan leading 3-0 early, 2nd quarter. Schlichter again checking off. Fullback Broadnax to about the 8. Keith Bostic coming up to make the tackle along with Mike Bourne.
Broadnax doesn't carry that often, but when he does, he is a tough inside runner. Spencer, the workhorse on this drive, now has 7 carries for 42 yards.
Broadnax is a tough man to bring down. 6'3", 252 pounds. Sophomore from Xenia, Ohio. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Split Williams to the right. With Frank in motion. It's Spencer breaking a tackle, getting inside the 5 to about the 3. Looks to be shy of the first down. Bostic and Burguy making the tackle to put it on the 4 and make it 3rd down and a long 1.
He ran from split backs that time. Spencer not in his usual I-back position, and he came back off left tackle on a trap play.
11:05 to go in the half. 3-0 Michigan, but the Buckeyes threatening. 3rd and a little more than 1 with Williams in motion. Give it to Broadnax through the middle. He's got the first down. Jeff Reeves, who's come in a safety spot, coming up to make the stop. 1st and goal.
With motion, Vaughn Broadnax, the big 250-pound fullback, comes right up the middle on a quick-hitting trap play and is very close to the end zone.
1st and goal, Buckeyes. Open up with split backs here. And send Frank in motion. Give it to Spencer. Through the middle he goes. No sign yet from the officials. And shy of the goal line. 2nd and goal.
You're talking about inches now.
Bourne and Carl made the stop, so they're inches away. On 2nd down and goal. Schlichter, following that play, ran over to the bench. Got the first-hand word from Earl Bruce. Calls the play in the huddle, and here we go on 2nd and goal. Out of the eye, it's Schlichter himself taking it in. Art Schlichter follows Jim DeLeon into the end zone, and the Buckeyes, following the pass interception deep in their own territory, culminate a beautiful drive with Schlichter going in for the score, and Ohio State takes the lead.
Perfect drive. good mixture of play-action passes, good running from the tailback, also some good running from the fullback, and Schlichter himself takes it in on the quarterback sneak.
Bob Atha, who is 37 out of 38 in extra point attempts this season. Mike Tomczak to hold. Perfect. Again, a look at the touchdown as Art Schlichter does it himself behind the center de Leon. 9:57 to go to the half. 7-3 Buckeyes. There's a man who has his game face on.
Is that what a Big Ten game face looks like?
That's exactly what a game face is.
You know, I haven't covered Big Ten football for quite a while. Things have changed since I was last here.
They have. It's become like the old Western Athletic Conference. It's unbelievable.
It reminds me of the WAC because, you know, actually, the Big Ten this year has been the passingest conference in America.
It's unbelievable what's happened throughout the conference.
Yep.
And here as Atha kicks off, the Buckeyes are on top 7-3, and it's Anthony Carter from the 3. Out to the 10, to the 15, slips to the outside, to the 20, to the 30, run out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Anthony Carter averaging better than 24 yards per run back on kickoffs this season.
That man is a burner. He has 4.4 speed in the 40-yard dash, and what he's doing at Michigan is that he is rewriting the press guide. By the time he gets out of school, he's going to own so many records that it's going to look like the Anthony Carter book.
I guess the only question about Carter would be his durability. 5'11" and 161 pounds, and spindly-legged, as you can see. First down from the 33-yard line as Smith keeps it himself and gets it out to the 40-yard line. Receivers covered. Chris Ream catches up with him. So out of the pocket he comes for a 7-yard gain. Second down and 3.
Chris Ream is a Buckeye with unlimited potential. 6'6", 252 pounds, and he was a 3-sport letterman in high school.
And he made a marvelous comeback from an injury suffered last year against Michigan. Missed all of spring practice with a pinched nerve in his neck. Done a fine job. Second down and 3 from the 40-yard line. Give it to Woolfolk. And he's bunched up at the line of scrimmage. Pushed back there by Glenn Cobb and Jerome Foster. It'll be third down and 3. 8:55 to go. Second period, Ohio State, after Michigan had taken the early advantage. On top, there's a look at the Michigan offensive line up front. Dixon, the midget, 6'1", 238. Line averaging 257. Third down and 2. A long 2. Smith. Overthrowing the intended receiver, Vince Bean. Sean Gale was covering.
He had Vince Bean wide open, and he was very unhappy with his throw. Here's the play action right now to the tailback. Now Bean is crossing, and this ball is, well, I used to refer to that as a duck. You throw one up like that, you kind of yell quack, and you hate yourself, but that's the way it is. He's going to have a chance to throw again, but it was a bad pass.
Smith tried to find the range. Meanwhile, Don Bracken, the sophomore punter, he was recruited out of Thermopolis, Wyoming. First kick of the day is a bad one off the side of his foot and out of bounds, and they'll line it up and mark it at the 39-yard line. It was Cedric Anderson putting the pressure on Bracken that time, the man who blocked the punt against Purdue. 8:19 to go in the half. Buckeyes by 4. Ohio State with the ball at its own 39-yard line. First and 10. 8:19 to go in the half. And the Buckeyes on top 7-3. Art Schlichter giving it to Broadnax. Fullback takes it out to the 43-yard line. Tony Osmond, number 78. Al Sinchich, number 53, making the tackle for the Wolverines.
I like that Broadnax. That's the kind of fullback I like to have. When you're a quarterback and you know that you're going to have a certain number of short yardage situations during the course of a game, it's nice to have a 250-pound fullback who can get you those tough yards.
Look around Michigan Stadium, packed, of course, as always. Second down, 6 from the 43-yard line. It's Schlichter, and a fine catch made by Anderson, low and behind him, and Cedric able to make the grab at the 48 of the Wolverines for a first down. Credit that one to Anderson.
Schlichter unloads this in a hurry because he reads blitz. He reads the blitz and he throws the ball under quite a bit of pressure. There is Anderson on the outside making a fine adjustment. Sign of good athletic ability.
The Ohio State quarterback now 5 out of 8 for 50 yards. First and 10 from the 48-yard line. Off the play fake, it's Schlichter, incomplete. Bouncing it to Tim Spencer. It'll be second down. Again, we're having technical problems in our coverage of the game between Louisville and Southern Mississippi. So those of you in that region, we can tell you there's still no score in that game, and you'll be seeing the balance of it as soon as the technical difficulties are rectified. Second down and 10. Ohio State at the 47-yard line. Anderson goes into the slot, and he's looking for Anderson, but overthrows him at the 40-yard line. Keith Bostic covering. Third and 10 upcoming.
Keith Bostic considered probably the best athlete that the Wolverines have. Certainly the best athlete on the defensive unit. Been effective both on coverage and on support.
Earl Bruce ending into play with the fullback Broadnax. On third down, 10. Buckeyes at the 47-yard line. Ohio State leading at 7-3. 7:14 to go. Second period. On third and 10. Schlichter looking for Anderson, almost makes the catch, but no, at the 23-yard line. Buckeye and Jackson covering on the play.
This pass is certainly not an artistic success, but it does get there. Anderson is running a corner route. He runs down, makes a little move inside, back to the corner. The ball hits him in the hands. Should have had it.
Buckeyes to punt. Carl Edwards stands at his 40-yard line, and only Anthony Carter drops back deep for the Wolverines. He's at the 10. Good snap. Wolverines set up the return. And bouncing sideways at the 15-yard line and down there. Michigan takes possession at that spot after a 32-yard punt and 6:58 to go in the half. The press box at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. Woody Hayes is here. He is somewhere in the press box, out of our camera range, however. But the former Ohio State coach was invited to the game by Earl Bruce yesterday. Accepted the invitation, flew up with the Buckeyes last night, and is in attendance at Michigan Stadium today. Wolverines from the 15-yard line, first and 10. Smith on the option, pitching to Woolfolk. And the late developing play, nets 4 out to the 19-yard line as Anthony Griggs comes up to make the tackle.
I covered this very game in 1969 when Bo Schembechler was in his first year at Michigan.
So often it was the Bo and Woody show.
Yep. And they used to call this conference Big 2, Little 8. That has changed.
It has. It could be Iowa in the Rose Bowl.
It could be Iowa and Washington State.
Wouldn't that be
Who would have thought?
Second down, 6 from the 19-yard line. Big hole through the middle. Lawrence Ricks, his first carry of the day, and the backup tailback takes it all the way out to the 37-yard line. Lawrence Ricks, the man who backs up Woolfolk, out to the 37 for a first down.
Lawrence Ricks is not your average backup tailback. This is a man who could start for just about any college in America. Ricks, Woolfolk, and Edwards last season combined for over 2,700 yards.
9 touchdowns this season scored by Ricks. He nets 18 yards on the last carry from the 37. First down, Michigan. 6.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Call his number again, and out to the 43 goes Lawrence, where Glenn Cobb makes the stop.
Here's a look at the fluid running ability of tailback Lawrence Ricks. And look at the surge of that huge Michigan offensive line.
For a man as a backup, not bad numbers for a career right there. Averaging 5 yards a carry. Second down, 4. And before the inception of the play, whistle
stops the play.
And markers down. Illegal procedure is the call against the Wolverines. Coming up, second half of our NCAA doubleheader, the Trojans and Marcus Allen against the Bruins from the Los Angeles Coliseum. Plus reports from the Washington State game next weekend. Friday telecast, remember, over the Thanksgiving period, Notre Dame, Miami. Doubleheader Saturday, Penn State against top-ranked Pitt. Bear Bryant goes for 3:15 against Auburn. Schembechler wants some word directly from the officials as to what the infraction was. Not that he'll necessarily agree with it. Just clarifying. And behind the bench, putting the, well, we'll try to find out exactly what's happening as the referee gets on the headphone, Tom Quinn. And it's just as much a mystery to us right now as it is to you, but we'll check downstairs and see exactly what the problem is.
Have a little conference call.
I would normally suspect it might be something to do with the clock. But they had to, now we're getting the word, they had to run some time off the clock, and now they are simply correcting the clock. I started to say I didn't think it was a problem with the clock, but as it turns out, they had to run about 15 seconds off it, and now we've gotten that squared away as you take a look at some scores. Games getting underway. Notre Dame and Penn State tied 7-7. Mountaineers have a 10-0 lead over Syracuse in the second quarter. Second down and 9 from the 38-yard line. And it's Smith keeping 45 to the 50. And for a first down to the Buckeye 47-yard line. Stan Edwards made the block that was able to spring Smith that time for the first.
Steve Smith on the scramble play. He's setting up for play action pass. Now here you see some of the speed that we talked about earlier. The block by Edwards springs him, and you catch that 4.5-40 speed in the open field. Versatile quarterback.
First down, Wolverines at the Buckeye 48. Just over 5 minutes to go in the half. Buckeyes leading 7-3. Ricks inside the 45, and a penalty marker is down as he is tackled at the 43-yard line. Holding against Michigan. I think the guilty party was Stephen Humphreys, number 76, left guard.
That disrupts the drive. Now we have an obvious pass situation. Let's see if they go to the favorite target, Anthony Carter.
Moves it back into Michigan territory. Put it down at the 46.
Marcus Merrick, the leading tackler on the team. We've talked about him. He gets blocked well, but he recovers and gets in on the tackle.
So assessed from the spot of the infraction, costing him 8 yards and making it first down and 18 from the 46-yard line. Smith still trying to find the range today. Receivers covered and tackled from behind at the 46-yard line by number 96, Mike DeAndrea, 6'4" senior out of Akron, Ohio.
He was looking for Anthony Carter that time, and Carter was going deep for the first time of the day.
Carter covered. Smith gets a couple out to the 46, make it second down and 16. Send Carter to the left, and Bean split to the right. Second down and 16. Smith under some pressure, dumps it over the middle to Dunaway, and he takes it to the Buckeye 40-yard line. Marcus Merrick making the tackle. Gain 13. It'll be third down, called a 2.5 from the 40.
Play action fake to the tailback Ricks this time. Setting up behind the left tackle. Good time once again. A little pressure there. And here's Dunaway, number 88, who slides in underneath the coverage. Good call. That gets him close.
Third down and a long 2 from the 40. Don't get the first as Edwards is stopped after a gain of 1. Fourth down, about 1.5 yards to go. With the ball now at the 39-yard line, and the clock running with 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first half. As they line up the chains, the officials calling time is an injured Buckeye. It's Jerome Foster, number 55, who is down on the turf. So an official's timeout here. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining in a rapidly paced first half. So timeout on the field with 3:01 to go in the half. 7-3. Oh, rapidly paced first half. So timeout on the field with 3:01 to go in the half. 7-3. Ohio State. Foster was assisted off the field. Dave Persilius takes his spot on the defensive line, and Michigan will go for it on fourth down and 1 at the Ohio State 39-yard line. 3:01 to go in the half. Smith on the option, keeping, trying to fight forward for the first down. Marcus Merrick pushing him back, number 36. They needed a yard. Buckeyes think they have held. Official timeout as they spot it right at the 38. Just looking at it from here, Cupper, I don't think they have it.
Crucial 4th and 1 situation. It is part 2 of the option play in which the quarterback keeps it himself. He went high. I think he should have gone low if he wants to get that crucial yardage. And to me, it looks like the Buckeyes have held. That's from this vantage point.
And they have. So Michigan, with 3 minutes to go in the first half, going for it, and now the Buckeyes take over at their own 38-yard line. They lead 7-3, and with 2:56 now remaining in the first half, Ohio State has all of its timeouts remaining.
The key man in the Buckeyes 3-4 defense is inside linebacker Marcus Merrick, number 16, and that is a clinic right there. That is a picture-perfect tackle right on the numbers of Steve Smith.
Schlichter leading the Buckeyes now on first down. It's Spencer. Quickly ahead out to the 45-yard line. Gets about 6. Closer to 7. Call it second down and 3 at the 45-yard line. Spencer out. And Jimmy Gale in at the tailback spot. Spencer has carried 10 times for 51 yards. Broadnax is the fullback. Gale is the tailback. Second down and a long 3. It's Gale. Breaks Makes a tackle at the 40, but still in a lot of trouble, and down he goes at the 38-yard line. Ben Needham and Keith Bostic catching up with him. Tony Osborne nearly got him initially, but he was able to break free from Osborne, and then he's brought down at the 38.
Loss of the play.
And the clock continues to run with under 2 minutes now, 1:55, 1:54, and counting down, first half. Third down, they're back almost to the initial line of scrimmage. Third down, let's call it 11.
Third down, it's just over 10 yards.
At the 38. Schlichter hit as he throws, and incomplete. Intended for Gary Williams, and Schlichter shaken up. Art really took a pop as he unloaded. It was Jerry Burguy blitzing through to deck Schlichter, and he's in some agony right now.
See if we can see Burguy on the blitz. Schlichter play action pass. There he's coming from the top of your screen. You see the hit on Schlichter. It looks like he got a bruise on his hip.
Ohio State to kick. With Edwards to boot it away on fourth down, standing at his own 25-yard line. Anthony Carter, single safety for Michigan at his own 25. High floating kick. Carter's going to let it bounce and then field it at the 18-yard line and drop at the 24. His forward progress to that spot. And the crowd getting on the Buckeyes for what they feel is a little overzealousness. There is Schlichter.
He's moving pretty good. I think he's all right.
If you're going to get shaken up, it's a most opportune time just before the half, because at least it gives you that extra amount of time to recover.
At least 20 minutes.
1:21 to go. First half. Ohio State leading at 7-3. Michigan from the 25-yard line, and Smith carries himself out to the 32. Clock still running. Michigan, all of its timeouts left.
Hurry up offense.
No huddle here. Second down, 2.5 from the 32. Edwards looking for the first down and is close as Glenn Cobb makes the tackle at the 35-yard line. Jerome Foster back in the game, number 55 for the Buckeyes. Now, with Michigan picking up the first down just outside the 35-yard line, they spend their first time out with 53 seconds remaining in the first half. Ohio State on top after the Wolverines had taken the initial advantage on a short field goal by Ali Haji Sheikh. Art Schlichter leading them on a beautifully conceived drive and taking it in himself from the 1-yard line for the touchdown. 7-3 Buckeyes. The other key game, of course, is the confrontation today with Michigan State taking on Iowa at Iowa City. That game will be getting underway in about half an hour. Again, if the Buckeyes win here, they would earn at least a share of the conference title, but to go to the Rose Bowl, they would need a Spartan victory over the Hawkeyes at Iowa City. First and 10, Michigan from the 35-yard line. Smith to the 43, to Bean. And a first down. Fine catch by Bean, his first reception of the day.
And a great throw by Smith. That is his best pass of the afternoon. He really drills this ball. Watch how much authority he puts on this football. Right here. Stands tall in the pocket, throws the ball to the outside. Deep hook pattern to Bean along the sideline. Great shot.
First and 10 from the 43. Clock 38 seconds remaining, and a one-hopper incomplete at the 38-yard line, intended for Craig Dunaway, the tight end. Second down, and that stops the clock with 35 seconds remaining in the half.
Smith, 5 of 11 for 75 yards in the passing department. Not a bad afternoon, but so far he's just a little tentative at times, and on 2 occasions on interceptions he has thrown the ball late.
Trying to move the Wolverines in here with 2nd down and 10 at the 43-yard line. 35 seconds remaining. First half. Good protection. Goes out in the flat and dropped there by Ricks. Ricks thinking about where he was going to go before he had possession of the football. 30 seconds to go.
That is the obvious outlet pass during the hurry-up offense. You look downfield, try to throw the ball along the sideline. If no one is open, you dump it out to the little swing back, and he can take it upfield and then step out of bounds himself. 30 seconds left.
3rd down, 10 from the 43. Wolverines moving with the wind at their backs. Bullet over the middle is nearly intercepted. Glenn Cobb was right there on a pass intended for Bean. Smith is fortunate that was not pickoff number 3.
He almost has his 3rd interception today. As we look at Cobb taking his drop, that's Merrick initially. Cobb comes into your picture late. He had the ball right in his hands. A sure interception.
So it's 4th down and 10 at the 43-yard line with 25 seconds remaining in the half. And the Wolverines will go for it. Fred Brockington comes in as a wide receiver, split to the right. Smith looking for Carter and throwing underneath at the 22-yard line, but incomplete. Stan Edwards, the intended receiver, but the ball hit the ground. So Ohio State will take over with 18 seconds now remaining in the first half at their own 43-yard line.
Stan Edwards is running a deep swing pattern along the sidelines. Here's the pass thrown by Smith, and as you can see, it's just a little low. Edwards is in an open area in the zone coverage. Sean Gale, the deep man in that zone.
Ohio State taking possession now with just 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Buckeyes at the 43-yard line. It's a typical Ohio State-Michigan score, yet we've seen far more liberal offense, Cupper, than we have in past games between these two schools.
I was thinking the same thing. Pretty much the type of football game we forecast at the top of the show. We predicted that it would be a low-scoring game, which has been so characteristic of this series. However, there has been a lot of movement offensively for both teams.
Exactly.
Also some effectiveness on the return game.
The offenses have been anything but conservative, except in this particular situation here, where Schlichter will be very content just to run the clock out.
Ball down by the quarterback.
So they will let time expire, and the teams will go into the locker room at the half with the Buckeyes of Ohio State leading Michigan 7-3. And we'll be back with today's halftime activities.
It's the second half of Buckeye football. Jack Kramer with Jeff Logan from Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The Ohio State Buckeyes lead the Wolverines 7-3. Michigan scoring on a 19-yard field goal by Haji Sheik, and the Buckeyes on a sneak by Schlichter. Halftime stats and Jeff Logan.
Well, Jack, the most important stat obviously is the score. The Buckeyes lead at 7-3, but very interesting. In rushing, Michigan has 117 yards compared to 56 for the Buckeyes. Passing, Michigan 75. The Buckeyes only have 50 yards passing. Schlichter is 5 out of 12 passing for 50 yards, and Smith is 5 out of 14, but he's got 2 interceptions, and that's been the real difference in the ball game. Spencer leads the Buckeyes in rushing with 51 yards, and Woolfolk, who left in the second quarter with an injury, did not return. Try and check and see what his problem is. Lawrence Ricks, number 46, was his replacement. How about this, Jack, on punts? Michigan, 1 punt, 20 yards. They have the number 1 punter in the country. Ohio State, 4 punts for 41 yards.
So the Wolverines, Haji Sheik kicks off to Spencer or Langley. It's Langley 5 yards deep in the end zone for the Bucks. And he downs it, and Ohio State will start from their own 20. The Buckeyes 7, the Wolverines 3. The Buckeyes will be marching against the wind out of the north here in the third period. The Buckeyes will then have the wind at their backs in quarter number 4. You know, a lot of football forecasters, Jeff, thought the Buckeyes would have to score 4 or 5 touchdowns to win this game. They're leading with just 1 score right now, but you and I both know 7 probably won't be enough.
I doubt it. I'd be very surprised if it would be.
From the 20, 1st and 10 Ohio State. Spencer for about 3. Boren hit him at the 22, and he fell to the 23. Sensich at middle guard for Michigan. Caraway 1 defensive tackle. Thompson at a linebacker spot. Gergash a linebacker. Boren and Needham round out the linebacking core.
Too many Ohio players there, Jack. What the heck are they doing up here at Michigan? Of course, that linebacking core of Needham, Boren, Gergash, all from Ohio. Lakewood, Columbus, and Groveport, Ohio. As you look at the Buckeyes, clock starts 2nd down and 8. Buckeyes came that time in a split backfield. They're doing it again. That's a change. They did not do that much in the second half. That's what, or in the first half. That's the veer.
Spencer again. Brian Carpenter in the secondary for Michigan, along with Jerry Burguy. Keith Bostic, the strong safety. Tony Jackson, the free safety.
Oh, and that defensive backfield, Jack, also 2 Ohioans. Tony Jackson from Cleveland St. Joseph's High School. There's Steve Smith on the sidelines trying to get that right arm warmed up. And Jerry Burguy from Ottawa, Ohio. He played at Ottawa Glandorf High School in Ohio also.
Smith and the Wolverines will get the ball if Schlichter and company don't rack up a first down here. It's 3rd and a long 5 for Ohio State, just inside their own 25. Schlichter a quick out for Williams. He one-hands it at the 34-yard line. A great juggling grab by Gary Williams.
What an acrobatic catch by Gary Williams. Jerry Burguy defending. This is catch number 35 in a row for Gary Williams. That's 35 games in a row. Every game he's played in. And what catch. Hauls it in, has control as he goes out of bounds, and more importantly than 35 in a row, it's a Buckeye first down. Jimmy Gale checks in. Tim Spencer checks out. And the Buckeyes go back to the I formation with Jimmy Gale at tailback.
Those are the kinds of plays you've got to make to win the big ones. It's Gale, and he stacked up after picking up 2. Robert Thompson and Mike Boren on the tackle for the Wolverines.
Art Schlichter may have only been 5 of 12 in the first half, Jack, but I've never seen him more accurate than he's been today. I can count 3 or 4 passes that were dropped by Buckeye receivers. That time, Gary Williams made Art Schlichter look good by coming down with a little bit of a high pass, tipping it and catching it, coming back.
Schlichter to throw. It is caught just across the 40-yard line. Boy, John Frank bear hugged it as a Wolverine was guarding him closely. It was Bostic on the coverage, but all reliable John Frank picked it off.
Give credit to Keith Bostic, number 13, because that could have easily turned into pass interference. He timed his hit perfectly, but how about John Frank just nestling that ball inside his grasp? Well, again, the Buckeyes have a 3rd down and about 4. They need to get to the Michigan 44-yard line for the first down, or their own 44, excuse me.
3rd down, Ohio State. Schlichter lofts it down the left side. It was intended down the near side for Frank, but Schlichter threw it out of bounds, and the Wolverines have held.
They're trying to go to John Frank as tight end. He also had Cedric Anderson running a fly pattern down the hash marks. Art Schlichter and Cedric Anderson will go talk to the coaches about that because Cedric had his man beat one-on-one. Now the ever-present Anthony Carter is back in single formation to receive the punt. And Carl Edwards, number 5, in to kick from Groveport.
Edwards standing back at his 26. Carter circled under it, let it bounce. And the Buckeyes get about 3 more yards after it, or on the roll, I should say, and Michigan will start from their own 25. So with 12:03 left in the third quarter, it's Ohio State 7, Michigan 3. The Michigan Wolverines have their first possession of the second half as the throng of 106,000 is up on its feet.
Jack, Butch Woolfolk is back in at tailback. He seems to be healed. Lawrence Ricks is back on the bench, so they got their first unit back in the ballgame.
Edwards and Woolfolk behind Smith. Ball just across the Michigan 25. This is Woolfolk. Streaking across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Garcia Lane upended him. First down, Michigan.
I guess he is healthy. Butch Woolfolk from his I formation behind the fullback again. Stan Edwards makes a great block on Glenn Cobb, and a touchdown saving tackle by number 12, Garcia Lane. And a Buckeye defense is going to be called again to shut down this potent Michigan offense.
From the 45, first and 10 Michigan. Woolfolk again. And he squirmed for a couple. Mike Neandria on the tackle. Foster playing a defensive tackle for the Buckeyes. Nick Miller in the middle. Chris Ream at the other defensive tackle spot.
Mike Neandria assistant.
Anthony Griggs, an outside linebacker. Glenn Cobb on the inside. Marcus Merrick at the other inside position. And Mike Neandria, an outside linebacker, as the Bucks organize on defense. Second down, 8 Michigan. Schlichter, or I should say Smith for Carter. He caught it at the Ohio State 43. Gale hit him and drove him back. Forward progress good enough for a first down.
You can't ask for much better coverage by Sean Gale, number 2. He had Anthony Carter all the way, good coverage. Just could not break up the reception. You have to respect Anthony Carter that much at least. Don't give him the big one. Another first down for Michigan, and they're rolling at this point. Momentum back on the side of the Wolverines. There you see Anthony Carter, second reception of the ball game.
Carter split far to the left at the top of your screen. First and 10 Wolverines. Pitch back to Woolfolk. 3 Buckeyes bear hug him across the line of scrimmage. Chris Ream, Marcus Merrick, Jerome Foster, all there. Sean Gale starting the second half at corner. Kelvin Bell at the other corner. Doug Hill, strong safety. And Garcia Lane, the free safety.
Chris Ream that time just flat out beat Ed Moransky, the big offensive tackle for Michigan, and getting in the face of Butch Woolfolk. Good job, second down and 9.
Dunaway was in motion. This is Edwards bursting across the 30 to the 25-yard line. Garcia Lane on the tackle, but the Wolverines are on a roll. First and 10, Ohio State 25.
They're going to see Butch Woolfolk coming right at you. It's an inside trap on the linebacker Cobb, and Bubba Paris, the tackle, does the trapping. He's 6'6" and 270. He gets in front of Glenn Cobb, who's only 210 pounds, and that's a mismatch if you've ever seen one. Michigan does a lot of that with their big offensive tackles.
Dave Crecelius, a freshman from Ashland, Ohio, 97, is in now for the Bucks. It's Dunaway motion. Edwards are about 3 or 4 to the 21. 9:20 left, third quarter. Cobb and Merrick on the tackle for Ohio State.
Jack, I was going to mention coming out here in the second half that I think what Michigan has to do to get back in a ball game or go ahead of Ohio State is really get back to basics. I think they passed more than they wanted to in the first half and got a little bit out of their game plan. Funny, the people down, the Michigan fans at halftime said, my golly, why aren't we running the ball more? When they run the ball, they want them to pass, so you can't keep everybody happy.
Wolverines doing what they do best now. This is Woolfolk reaching out for the 15-yard line. Near a first down, Merrick on the tackle for the Bucks. There you see 24, Butch Woolfolk, who was on the sideline some of that second quarter. So with third and less than a yard, the Buckeyes are one secondary man short now and have some bigger people in there. Miller, Foster, Nelms, Crecelius. 3rd and 1 for Michigan. Woolfolk picks up 2 and a first down. Miller and Merrick for Ohio State, but it's first down for Michigan at the 13.
Ohio State goes to their short yardage 6-2 defense. Butch Woolfolk just following Stanley Edwards, and Stan Edwards did a good job of blocking on Marcus Merrick. Edwards not only a gifted runner, but a very competent blocker, and that fullback is called on to do a lot of that in this Michigan offense. 1st and 10 at about the 13.
We've already played 1/2 of the 3rd quarter. Wolverines in striking distance. Woolfolk to the 10-yard line. Ream on the tackle. That was Woolfolk behind Bubba Paris to the 10. 2nd down, a long 6 for the Wolverines.
You may notice that Butch Woolfolk has tape around his waist at that point. That's not an injury, that's just to keep his pants up. He's got about 38-inch thighs, and he's got about a 32-inch waist.
Oh, he's run so well in his career, he's run right out of him. Edwards churning to near the 5. Glenn Cobb met him for the Buckeyes. Help from Anthony Griggs. It's spotted at the 6. 3rd and a little over 2 for Michigan.
Pretty tough to get tailor-made football pants from Pierre Cardin. Those are a la Michigan right there. And the Wolverines are threatening again to score. Remember, the Buckeyes had 2 or 3 great goal line stands in the first half, and hopefully they come up with another one. Now Michigan's got the problem of the loud Ohio State fans in this corner of the end zone.
Buckeyes with their short yardage defense in there again. Nelms along with Griggs, DeAndrea, Smith running down the line of scrimmage. He's hit by Sean Gale, who broke through and nailed Smith at the 9-yard line.
Well, it appears that the Ohio State defensive coaches have prepared their Buckeyes very well for this goal line defense of Michigan, and what a great job by Ohio State again, because they're forcing Michigan to kick. Watch number 2, Sean Gale. He's only 198 pounds. He just squeezes through. He beats Stanley Edwards on his block. And Sean Gale puts a lick on the quarterback, Steve Smith, and Ali Haji-Sheikh is in to kick again.
A 25-yard field goal try by Haji-Sheikh. Dickey to hold. And the kick by Haji-Sheikh is good. So with 5 minutes and 38 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, it's Ohio State 7, Michigan 6. So the Michigan Wolverines have scored first here in the 2nd half and have cut the Buckeye lead to a point. Ohio State leading by a score of 7-6. And Jeff, as we had talked at halftime, so did Bo Schembechler and the Wolverines. They have come out running right at Ohio State.
You know, this is the #1 rushing offense in the Big Ten that Michigan has, and Ohio State bending a little bit around the midfield and in between the 20s, but doing a great job inside the 15 and 10-yard lines. That's the 2nd big goal line stand that the Buckeyes have made, and really the 4th time that Michigan has had series where they should have maybe had a touchdown or resulted in touchdowns. Give a lot of credit to that defense, and if only the offense of the Buckeyes can keep generating yardage and get some more consistency, they'll be in great shape. Now the scoring drive goes 74 yards, 11 plays, and it ends in Haji-Sheikh's field goal for Michigan, 7-6. 4 big scoring drives for Michigan where they should have come up with scores, and only resulting in 6 points via 2 field goals by Haji-Sheikh. You got to be proud of the Buckeye defense at this point, but it ain't over yet. 5 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and the ball rolls off the tee. Just some idea that there is wind on the field. Not as bad as it might be at another stadium such as Ohio Stadium, where there's an open end where that wind can swirl in, and Haji-Sheikh will kick. Langley and Spencer are back.
Haji-Sheikh sends it 2 yards deep into the end zone, where it hits and bounds on through, and the Buckeyes will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. So the Buckeyes, who picked up 1 first down on their initial series of the 2nd half, have got to get the offense moving.
Probably ought to tell you again that even though it's cold up here today, the wind chill is in the teens. The field is in tremendous shape. They had it covered while there was snow here the last couple of days in Ann Arbor. They got maybe an inch or two, but the field is in excellent condition. It has not snowed since the pregame when we just had a little bit of a flurry.
Anderson motion. This is Spencer, and he is caught from behind by Gergash. Spencer was bobbing and weaving, couldn't find an opening, and Gergash caught him from behind. The Buckeyes now have 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Too much indecision that time by Tim Spencer, number 46. The Buckeyes had the pitch sweep set up pretty well with some good blocking in front. Tim Spencer wasn't going to break it for a big one, but he could have at least got 3 or 4 had he tucked it up inside. Von Brodnax is checking out. Victor Langley checks into the ball game. That gives the Buckeyes 3 wide receivers, and Cedric Anderson appears as the other running back. He'll probably shift out. There he goes.
Schlichter to throw. It is batted away at the 40-yard line and picked off. It is intercepted. Tony Jackson on the intercept as he caught the deflected pass. Alert defense by the Wolverines. Pass intended for Cedric Anderson.
Well, that's the first interception that Art Schlichter's had, and it should not really be called an interception simply because the ball was tipped by, I think, 3 men before Tony Jackson comes down with it. First to touch it is Cedric Anderson and a Michigan defender. That's Bostic, number 13. And watch this. Tony Jackson just keeps his eyes trained on the ball. Michigan has their first turnover, and they get the ball on the 48. The defense going to have to rise to the occasion again.
4:48 left, 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 Wolverines, Ohio State 48. Batted down at the line of scrimmage. Chris Ream may have gotten his big paws up in the way of the Smith aerial. So the Wolverines come out throwing on 1st down, trying to catch the Bucks off guard after the turnover.
I think what Bo was doing right there, he's going for the juggler. He figures Ohio State comes up with an error. There you see Earl Bruce on the sidelines. Trying to come up with a big play after the turnover, 2nd and 10. Watch Woolfolk now on the pitch.
Smith keeps it, and he got to the outside. 1st down, Ohio State 35. Garcia Lane ran him out.
Now this is the option play, run to perfection. Edwards does a great job of cutting down Glenn Cobb again. Give a lot of credit to Stanley Edwards because you've got to have that fullback block after the fake in order to cut down the pursuit of the linebackers, and Glenn Cobb's got to do a better job of fighting through those blocks down around his ankles.
I formation. This is Woolfolk looking for room, and he's got 5 or 6 more. There is a flag on the play. Woolfolk was brought down at the 30. Face mask against Ohio State.
Yeah, they're going to catch Anthony Griggs, number 48, at the end of the tackle for the face mask call. Very impressed with the power displayed that time by Butch Woolfolk. He looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a personal foul. 15 yards against the Buckeyes. Automatic 1st down. They're going to mark it just inside the 15. Very popular call here at Michigan Stadium. Watch Marcus Merrick fill the hole. Takes him on. I may have called it against Anthony Griggs. I was incorrect. They got Marcus Merrick. Didn't actually grab the face mask, but he wrapped his arm in the face mask, which apparently is good enough for the face mask call by the officials.
1st and 10 Michigan from the Ohio State 15. Woolfolk gets the call, and he's upended at the 11-yard line. Nice play by Marcus Merrick as Woolfolk was bursting into the clear, and Merrick got to him.
Well, the linebackers of Ohio State are being called upon very much so. Look at the lock down in the legs. That's the toughest one for a linebacker to get out of. It looked almost like the guard, Kurt Becker, was tackling Marcus Merrick. You better be careful. He's been caught twice for holding already.
Second down, 6, Michigan. Ohio State 11. Woolfolk again trying to cut back against the grain, and he gets about 5 more to the 6-yard line. And once more, it's Marcus Merrick on the tackle for Ohio State.
Kind of funny, this play is designed to go anywhere where Butch Woolfolk wants to go. And he cuts it all the way back across his left tackle. The entire line collapses, and Marcus Merrick finishes it off. Really, Glenn Cobb is one that slowed down Butch Woolfolk. And Michigan's got 3rd and 2. They've got to get just across the 5-yard line for a first down. The Bucks have got to hold again. There's Bo.
Short yardage defense in for the Buckeyes. Edwards, and he is snowed under by Merrick and Cobb. Line of scrimmage was the 7, and the play picked up maybe, a half a yard. It's just outside the 6.
There goes Haji Sheik, and Michigan's going to be forced to kick another field goal. I don't know how this thing is going to end, but I would have to believe that Michigan cannot, if they cannot take advantage of these scores, unless there's a total breakdown by Ohio State, the Buckeyes should win this football game. They're playing great ball down around the goal line.
Line of scrimmage, the 6. The ball will be placed down at the 13. The kick by Haji Sheik is up, and it is good. So with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, it's now Michigan 9, Ohio State 7. The Ohio State Buckeyes have now fallen behind the Michigan Wolverines 9-7. As here in the 3rd quarter, it's been all Michigan, as the Wolverines' 2 long drives have resulted in 3-pointers. And Michigan down 7-3 at halftime has now overcome Ohio State, leading 9-7.
Jack, one of the most important things is Ohio State has not given up a touchdown the entire ball game with 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And that's a credit to that football team, because Michigan is throwing just about everything at them they can. Butch Woolfolk having a big day running the football. Stanley Edwards doing a good job of blocking that offensive line of Michigan, doing an excellent job. But the Buckeyes just seem to rise to the occasion. That's 5 times that Michigan has been inside the 20 of Ohio State and have only come up with 3 field goals. Well, the scoring drive goes 48 yards after the interception by Jackson. 7 plays, and Haji Sheik's field goal of 23 yards makes it Michigan 9, Ohio State 7. Jack, Ohio State certainly doesn't want to give up the boat at this point. You want to keep your game plan intact. I would not be surprised, or I would not be very disappointed, let me put it that way, for Ohio State to come out maybe at this point and start optioning a little bit. A little bit of a different look. They have not used it so far in the ball game. And I think Art Schlichter is healthy enough. I think it gives Michigan another look to prepare for. I think it'd be a good idea.
Wolverines setting up here for the kickoff. The Buckeyes will get the football with 2:26 left in the 3rd quarter. Ohio State has been a little more tentative on offense here in the 3rd period than they were at least in the 2nd quarter of this game, when they were wheeling and dealing. And Haji Sheik prepares to kick. The Wolverines offense has tuned up here in the 2nd half. And here's the boot. A high kick coming down to Spencer at the 5. He's met at the 16-yard line, and down he goes. Carlton Rose, a sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, jarred Spencer to the turf at the 17, where it's 1st and 10 for Ohio State.
Well, Michigan has about as good a special teams as you're going to find anywhere in the country. That time, Timmy Spencer was forced to bring it out and just could not do anything with it. And Ohio State will have to start the drive from their own 17-yard line, which is not perfect, but you can still use 95% of their offense from this point.
74 was Zelensky, 70 was Roberts. Schlichter at the helm, Broadnax and Spencer behind him. You called it, Jeff. Art sprinting out to the right and picking up about 4 to the 21.
Gergash making the tackle, as you mentioned. Great offensive call, I think, by Earl Bruce. Michigan fans are very excited about that. That's an Ohio State 5-yard gain on first down, and that's exactly what you want to have. Gergash, along with Bostic, coming in to stop Schlichter. Had Von Brodnax turned around, he was out as a receiver. He could have made a block on Gergash and probably would have sprung Art Schlichter for the first down, but Von Brodnax didn't know there was a defender on his tail.
Second down, about 6 for Ohio State at their 21. And Tim Spencer finds room for about 3 to the 24. Under a minute and a half left in the third quarter. Thompson and Gergash on the tackle. As the Buckeyes try to put a charge.
Jack, I feel guilty about complaining I'm cold. How about the girls in their skirts?
They're fired up, trying to excite the Buckeye offense. It's third down, 3rd and 3 for Ohio State from their own 24.
They've got to get to the 27-yard line. Tough play call for Earl Bruce, and the Buckeyes are in their rear. And 2 tight ends, so it looks like a running situation.
Schlichter down the middle for Frank. A great catch across the 50-yard line. A tremendous catch by John Frank in heavy traffic at the Michigan 48-yard line.
That shows you how smart I am. I said it looks like a running situation. Art Schlichter and Earl Bruce fool me, and they fool Michigan. Jerry Burguy is going to eventually make the tackle. But what about a clutch performance by John Frank? Art Schlichter kind of hangs one up, and Frank knows he's going to get hit, still holds on to the ball, and they are into Michigan territory. Paul Gergash, number 50, beaten on the play. He had the one-on-one coverage.
Jerry Burguy made the tackle. Schlichter handing to Spencer. And Tim Spencer cracks over right guard for about 4 or 5. Mike Boren on the hit for the Wolverines. 24-23, clock moving, waning seconds, third period.
That will probably be the last play in the third period. Thing of importance at this point, when Ohio State takes the ball in the fourth quarter, the wind will be blowing a little bit at their back, and they will have the wind advantage going into the fourth quarter for the passing game. And there's 5 seconds left, and that'll just about be it, Jack.
Clock is winding down, and that's it. That's the end of 3 quarters of play from Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. The score after 3 periods, Michigan 9, Ohio State 7. Back with more Buckeye football in a moment.
I could swear that's our executive producer, Ed Clay. What do you think, Jack?
Well, I don't...
No, it can't be. He doesn't wear those white hats. He wears that little beanie cap.
Well, you've heard of staying undercover in an exit way or in your car and listening to the radio, but that's the way to do it.
Ed told us he was going down to get a hot dog. Ohio State's got the ball, second down and about 6 in Michigan territory at the 46-yard line.
I thought Halloween had come and gone.
Yeah.
"15 minutes left in this ball game. We're about set to start the fourth quarter. Michigan 9, Ohio State 7.
Jack, you know the media hype before this ball game was that it's probably going to be a high-scoring, wild, woolly affair. Earl Bruce and Bo Schembechler just sat back all week and said, my gosh, it's always been a defensive battle. Don't you think it will be? And everybody said, no, it won't be. Here we are 9-7 in the fourth quarter, and a defensive battle, that's exactly what it's been.
It's winding up as a game of chess like
it should.
Like it should.
People may say it's boring, but I'll tell you what, this is great football.
Second down and 6 for the Buckeyes, just inside the Wolverine 44. Schlichter firing, it is picked off. It is intercepted by the Wolverines. Carpenter across the 15 to the 18-yard line. Schlichter's pass for Anderson, intercepted by Brian Carpenter.
Well, now that's 2 interceptions for the Buckeyes. Art Schlichter underthrew that ball as Carpenter, number 9, came up with the intercept. You're going to see Art Schlichter straight drop back pass. No question where he's going with this one. It's Cedric Anderson on a fly route into the corner of the end zone. And he underthrows it because Cedric has good separation from the defender. And Carpenter, number 9, the senior from Flint, Michigan, comes up with his first interception of the season. And Michigan has a first down at the 19.
This is Woolfolk. And Woolfolk fumbles across the 25. It's loose. Ohio State's got it. Sean Gale picked up the fumble. So on successive plays, the Buckeyes and Wolverines turn it over. And it winds up being a gain of yardage on the field for Ohio State. So with 14:40 left in the game, it's Michigan 9, Ohio State 7.
Big play. Watch here. You're going to see the tail end. The hit caused, the fumble caused by number 27, Doug Hill. The recovery by number 2, Sean Gale. Good job by the Buckeye defense. Good hard hitting, and Ohio State's got the big break now. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
John Frank was in motion. Tim Spencer wedging out about 4 or 5 to the 23-yard line.
Funny how Tim Spencer just gets behind his blockers there. Mike Boren, number 40, finally making the tackle for Michigan. But Spencer got behind Frank, who cut up inside. That's right out of the playbook of the Dallas Cowboys. They bring their tight end, Jay Saldy, in motion like that, kick him inside, and Tony Dorsett likes running that way, and Tim Spencer appears to also.
Only difference, Jeff, this game's not being played in Dallas.
No, believe me, it's not. It's too cold up here.
Jimmy Gale in at tailback. Ian Broadnax behind Schlichter. This is Gale. Nothing.
Jack, you mentioned during the break there that Bobby Aitha better be over there with Al Sinich from Cleveland. He's a freshman football player for Michigan. Buckeyes have 3rd and 6. A little bit of wind at their back at this point, really blowing from one corner of the field to the other, but what advantage there is with the wind is in Ohio State's favor here in the 4th quarter. Ohio State has 2 tight ends in, Brad Dwelly along with John Frank. Remember last time they went to Frank out of this formation passing.
Schlichter on 3rd and 6, lobbing it for Spencer, too far inside the 10-yard line. So the Buckeyes will try for 3.
Hutch Gergash 50 on the blitz. Good pickup by Zelensky. And you called it right, Jack. Bobby Aitha had better be warmed up. This is the first time that he's been in to try a field goal. He was 1 for 1 on his point after touchdown. I saw him from about the same spot on the field, back 10 yards further. He made him in warm-up, so hopefully he's still got the leg to do it here. 40-yard field goal. Tom Zach's the holder.
Tom Zach holds at the 30. Aitha's kick. It is wide to the right. No good. So Aitha's 40-yard field goal misses to the right. And Michigan will take over the football with 13:07 left in the contest. It's Michigan 9, Ohio State 7. So the Wolverines have stopped the Buckeyes in what may be a battle of field goal attempts here in the 4th period.
Well, you might have to believe that the weather could have caused a big part of that miss by Bobby Aitha. That is certainly within his distance. It was 40 yards, and he's made it from there before, and certainly not a chip shot by any kicker. But the fact that he was sitting on the sidelines for much of the game and has not really been used. You know, the wind chill is down into the teens and maybe below that. You can't help but get a little bit cold. Now the Buckeyes are a lot of time left, still 13 minutes and 7 seconds to go. They trail by 2. There you see Bob Aitha, number 1, talking with Earl Bruce, saying don't worry about it, we'll give you one more chance and do it.
So the Wolverines will put the ball in play, 1st and 10 from their own 23. Buckeyes hoping, of course, that Aitha has got another shot at it. Of course, they'd like for it to be a point after. Smith at the helm as the Wolverines start from their own 23. 13:07 left in the game. Woolfolk, no gain. Chris Ream stopped him. Wolverines went to their money man, Woolfolk. First play of their last possession, and he coughed it up. Woolfolk did nudge forward for maybe one, so it's second down 9. Clock running, 12:42 left in the game. From the 24, second and 9 for the Wolverines. Carter split far to the right. Vince Bean to the left. Smith firing for Carter, got him at the 40. Anthony Carter wide open to the 41.
That ball was nearly tipped by the offensive rushers. You're going to see how close. I think it's Chris Ream coming out of the left side of your screen. He's 6'6". He almost gets his big paw up there. Anthony Carter, only 161 pounds, does a good job of holding onto the ball. Watch him get laced. Now he gets his ticket stamped right here by number 35, Glenn Cobb.
This is Edwards. Outside left guard, picking up about 3. DeAndrea helped stop the play for Ohio State. Ream was in there. Line of scrimmage, the 44. It's second down 7.
Now Carter only has 3 receptions today. None of them have been for the big bomb yet, and you have to believe that they might attempt to have that big bomb sooner or later to Carter. Ohio State has been double covering him. They do it again with Sean Gale and Garcia Lane.
11:40 left. Clock moving. Second down 7, Michigan. This is Ricks. Twisting to the 50. Near first down yardage, Anthony Griggs. Mike DeAndrea make the tackle for the Buckeyes. It's very close. In fact, close enough.
There you see the defensive unit of the Michigan Wolverines talking with their triumvirate of coaches as you look there. A lot of Michigan assistant coaches have gone on to coach other schools in the Big Ten. Jim Young, who just mentioned that he will just short of the first down by that much. Jim Young at Purdue, who just mentioned that he will be getting out of football at the end of this year, is one of those fellas. Jim Young used to be the defensive coordinator here at Michigan back in 1969 in the Rose Bowl at that point when Coach Schembechler had his mild heart attack. Jim Young was the head coach at the Rose Bowl that time, the stand-in head coach.
So Rick's run was close enough to request a measurement. The Wolverines were just shy. Edwards trying to wedge out first down yardage. He may have it. He only needed about a foot. 11:03 left in the game. It's first down for the Wolverines at the Ohio State 48. And the Buckeyes need to get that football.
They've got to get a turnover at this point for 2 reasons. First of all, the clock's running down, 11 minutes, 3 seconds to go. Secondly, you can't leave your defense on the field that long. This defense has been a little suspect all season. They played well all day. You got to wonder how long they can hold it up, hopefully for 11 more minutes, if they have to.
Smith keeping to the 43-yard line. Glenn Cobb on the tackle.
Dick Miller almost came up with a big play from his middle guard position. He had Smith by the back at his jersey and just could not hold on to the slippery little quarterback. You know, Smith is not a big football player, only 6 feet tall. It's got to be tough to pass behind some of your offensive linemen. Moransky at 6'7", Bubba Paris at 6'6". Your guard at 6'6". You get arch ball, just get it over your lineman.
We're down to the 10-minute mark. Second down 5 for the Wolverines from the Buckeye 43. A deep handoff to Ricks, trying to skirt the right end. And he gets back inside the 45. Buckeyes came close to nailing that play for a loss behind the line of scrimmage several yards. Ricks managed to get back near the line of scrimmage for Michigan.
Jack, you're right. It appeared like they were going to get him way back for a loss. Lawrence Ricks, the junior from Barberton, Ohio. He gets back to, I guess, the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to bring down third down and 6. That play did not look good. It was not very cohesive from the very beginning. Good pressure by the Buckeyes. I thought Anthony Griggs was going to have him for a big loss, but he just kind of stumbled and fell. There's Earl Bruce shouting instructions. I know what he's saying. Come up with a big one.
Clock stopped at 9:53. Third and 6. Smith to throw. It is complete to Carter at the 32. It's a first down. Garcia Lane dumped him, but it's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
Well, Marcus Merrick's pass drop, you're going to see it left corner of your screen, just did not get back quick enough, because if he gets there quicker, that's his lane. He's the one that's got to defend that one. Did not cover it. Anthony Carter breaks his pattern off, finds a place to settle down where there's an opening, and again, his concentration gives him the reception. That's 4 on the day.
Smith to throw. Carter, it is incomplete. Carter was diving for it, but it was a bit too wide, as Smith failed to hook up with Carter on that play.
Buckeye fans might remember that pass pattern you just saw there. This is the one that beat Ohio State last year in Ohio Stadium, just a slant in over the middle. And this time, Steve Smith just overthrew Carter. And Michigan's got 2nd and 10. Lawrence Rick still in the game at tailback. Butch Woolfolk on the sidelines.
From the 31, Ricks. Foster bear hugs him inside the 30 at the 29. So Michigan will be faced with 3rd down and about 8. 9-12 left in the game.
The defense has been on the field a long time. Not quite sure what the exact time of possession is in the ball game at this point for each team. Just under 9 minutes left to go in the ball game, but that defense for Ohio State's been on the field a long time. Buckeyes in nickel defense this time. Mark Everts has checked into the ball game.
Smith firing. It is caught at the 8. Vincent Bean inside the 10-yard line. A perfectly thrown ball by Smith.
Now, number 4, Kelvin Bell, the freshman from Richmond, Virginia, gave Vince Bean, number 27, too much room. Bean is going to run to the post and then back to the corner. He's now Kelvin Bell's responsibility. Kelvin Bell's 5 yards off the receiver, and Smith puts it where it has to be. Remember, 1 foot has to be in bounds. The official's right there. Good call. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line for the Wolverines.
Smith, a timing pattern for Carter, just out of his reach. It was beyond the sideline. As Smith overthrows Carter, and 2nd down and goal coming up now for the Wolverines from the 8.
Now this is just a timing play. The ball's in the air right now. Number 12, Garcia Lane, doesn't see it to the very end. If that ball's a little bit better thrown, that's a touchdown. Anthony Carter. It's a play that the pros have really invented, where they've just kind of lobbed the ball to the receiver, try and catch the defender by surprise. Good play call by Michigan. Pass just a little bit overthrown. 2nd goal and 8. They're 2nd and goal from the 8.
Carter split to the bottom of your screen again. I formation.
He's got one-on-one coverage. That's kind of scary.
Smith looking that way. Now back over the middle, and he throws it behind Dunaway in the end zone. He was free about 7 yards deep in the end zone. But Smith missed his mark. Glenn Cobb was covering, and it's 3rd down and goal for Michigan.
Dunaway coming from his tight end position. Watch him here. He breaks through. He now becomes the responsibility of Sean Gale and Glenn Cobb. Glenn just does not get turned around. You see him slip there. Probably should have been a Michigan touchdown. Smith overthrows it in the footing. He goes right down. Also, the one-on-one coverage on Anthony Carter. He was wide open in the corner of the end zone. Buckeyes have got to get to him. Garcia Lane now has one-on-one on Carter.
Smith firing. It is broken up in the corner of the end zone and intercepted by Ohio State. Kelvin Bell picked it off. So the Buckeyes will start from their own 20, 1st and 10. 8 minutes and 32 seconds left in the ball game. It's Michigan 9, Ohio State 7.
That's the volleyball interception. The intended receiver, number 88, Craig Dunaway. He's running, really an outside, heading for the corner of the end zone. Look at the fake here. Puts a move on Glenn Cobb. Kelvin Bell's going to eventually make the interception. You're going to see him here. Great play, volleyball, the tip by number 2, Sean Gale. And the Buckeyes have life again. And they hold the Wolverines' 3rd interception of the day and the 4th turnover by Ohio State.
Tim Spencer barreling for about 5 to the 25-yard line. Ball had gotten loose, but whistle had blown. Carlton Rose helped stack up Spencer at the 25. Play netted 5 yards for the Buckeyes. 8 minutes, 10 seconds left in the game. Michigan 9, Ohio State 7.
I'll remind you that this football game has a lot to do with who goes to the Rose Bowl this year, who will be the Big Ten representative. If Michigan wins, they automatically go. If Ohio State wins and Michigan State beats Iowa, the Ohio State Buckeyes will go to the Rose Bowl.
Schlichter setting up to throw. Man wide open, Frank. First down to the Michigan 31-yard line. He's wrestled out of bounds by Carlton Rose. Mike Boren helped. But with 7:44 left in the contest, 1st and 10 Ohio State.
This is the kind of drive that Ohio State wants. They want to take it up in 5- and 10-yard pieces. 7 minutes left to go, and John Frank on the drag pattern. That's 5 or 6 times that Schlichter has hit Frank coming across the sidelines there and coming across the linebacker zone. That's good enough for a first down at the 31-yard line. Victor Langley's checked into the game in replacement for Cedric Anderson.
Schlichter handing it off. Spencer lunging forward for about 3 to the 34-yard line. Winfred Caraway was there for the Wolverines along with Tony Osmond.
It's kind of a familiar song there that we're hearing from the Ohio State marching band and the fans that are here, and that's one of the Michigan cheerleaders. Ohio State, 2nd down, 7 yards to go.
Schlichter looking. He's got Frank down the middle, just a bit too far at the Michigan 40-yard line. Girgash with pretty good coverage. It would have taken a perfectly thrown ball by Schlichter and a great catch by Frank.
Just was too far. You see Frank breaks open. He's got one-on-one coverage. Girgash has the responsibility. Girgash actually comes back and does a pretty good job of covering Frank. Ball just a little bit overthrown. John Frank with a great effort. And this could be one of the biggest plays in the ball game because there's 6 minutes and 49 seconds to go. The Buckeyes trail Michigan 7-9, 3rd and 7. They need to get to the 41-yard line for the first down. Earl Bruce is concerned. The Ohio State fans are concerned.
Schlichter scrambling left. He heaves it up the left side. It is caught at the 44-yard line.
What a great effort by Art Schlichter. Hits Tim Spencer out of the backfield, number 46. The junior tailback from St. Clairsville, Ohio. He was not the intended receiver. Watch the great block on the right side of your screen by William Roberts. He cuts down a defender, allows Art Schlichter a chance to get it off. 46, Tim Spencer. Catch of the game for the Buckeyes and a first down. 6 minutes and 32 seconds to go. The Buckeyes are cooking.
Boy, the Buckeyes get an A on how to improvise. Boy, I'll tell you.
Freelancing at its best.
1st and 10 Ohio State at their own 44, 6:16 left in the game. Schlichter to Williams, a great grab at the Michigan 40. Bostic on the hit.
Another first down. Girgash put the pressure on Schlichter that time.
Gary Williams, who had 46 catches coming into today's game, the career reception leader for Ohio State. Schlichter has rolled to his right. Williams on a crossing pattern makes the catch. A leaper. Keith Bostic in the secondary gets the hit for the Wolves.
Buckeyes at the 39. Under 6 minutes to go. Spencer. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Winfred Caraway makes the tackle.
Ideally right now, this is the kind of drive that Ohio State would continue. They would like to chew up as much time as they possibly could and hopefully get a touchdown now. However, a field goal puts them on top.
They're at the 35-yard line, 2nd down and 6. Jimmy Gale is in at a running back spot with Broadnax. Schlichter for Frank, who really gets popped at the 30-yard line. Mike Boren making the hit. spotted just inside the 30-yard line and very close to a first down.
Schlichter on a roll right now. He's completed his last 3, again to his favorite target, the tight end John Frank, who now has 7 catches on the day. He had 35 catches coming into today's game for 345 yards.
Timeout for a measurement. Clock is stopped 5:01. About 2 inches.
Will Art Schlichter call his own number again? I would think so.
Or maybe Broadnax.
He is now 12 of 24 on the day for 131 yards. Frank far and away his favorite target, 7 catches for 68 yards.
The numbers on Schlichter and on Smith.
Very close, very comparable.
3rd down, 2 inches at the 29. Clock now restarted, under 5 minutes to go. Schlichter does call his own number, and the ball squirts loose at the 27-yard line. Loose ball. No signal yet, and now Ohio State maintains possession. So the Buckeyes hold on and picked up the first down.
It looked like Lukens, the offensive guard, comes up with a football. Let's see. I do not see the football disappear. There, now we see it, and that is number 72, Lukens, the offensive right guard, coming up with a football.
Surrounded it. At the 28-yard line, first down, Ohio State. Spencer with some room to the outside. Inside the 25, the 20. And dragged down at the 10-yard line by Brian Carpenter. Spencer exploding to the outside. And another first down.
That's why that is the quintessential I formation play, because it really evolves into a triple option for the tailback. He can go inside, he can go straight, or he can go outside. This time he sees daylight to the outside. Gets a good block from Broadnax originally to spring him, and then he takes it on his own.
Spencer, 97 yards on 20 carries. The ball is spotted just inside the 10, so it's first and goal with 4:20 remaining in the game. Michigan leading 9-7. With Frank in motion, it's Spencer again for a yard and a half, maybe 2. Close to the 7. Simpson and Caraway making the tackle.
This is the classic Michigan-Ohio State matchup that we forecast at the top of our show. Low-scoring, tough, hard-nosed football.
Michigan took a 3-0 lead. First period, Ohio State touchdown. Second quarter, led 7-3 at the half. 2 Ali Haji-Sheikh field goals here in the second half. They've given Michigan the lead, but the Buckeyes are knocking on the door with second and goal from the 8. 3:40 to go in the game. It's Spencer again, trying the left side. Gets a yard. Mike Boren making the stop. Picks up maybe a yard and a half. Spotted at the 6. 3rd down and goal.
Let's see if Art Schlichter now elects to go to his favorite target, his tight end, John Frank. He has been very effective with play-action type passes and then crossing routes to his tight end.
Schlichter on every play has been sprinting over to the bench, getting the word from Coach Bruce. Back at the helm on 3rd down. Frank sets up on the right side as they send Williams in motion. Off the fake, on a roll. Schlichter trying to get a block. Keeping and into the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. What a play by Schlichter, who goes into the wall hard, the patch of ice and the snowbank there. And Art Schlichter waiting for the block, maneuvering, finding the corner of the end zone. Broadnax was the man out in front. Buckeyes have the lead.
Is a tribute to the all-around athletic ability of one of the great performers in Big Ten history, Art Schlichter. Now watch what happens when he gets to the perimeter. He pauses, He looks for the block. He makes his move back to the outside and into the end zone. Great individual effort by number 10, Art Schlichter.
Terrific play. 13-9 going on 14. Ethan to attempt the extra point. Tomczak with a hold, and Ethan's kick is good. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the game. Michigan getting ready to receive the kickoff. Ohio State 14-9. 13 plays, took them 5:42. They go 80 yards after the interception. 14-9. And again, a look at the touchdown. Great individual effort by Schlichter.
Watch the timing as he gets to the corner right now. He makes a move inside, now back to the outside. That's the cut. The block from Broadneck set it up originally to get him out there. And there is a great effort by the All-American Art Schlichter.
And the touchdown was so much more important than a field goal would have been, because now Michigan can't win it with a three-pointer. They need the touchdown. They'll be going into the wind, and we have 2:50 to go as Ethan puts it in the air. Carter fields on a bounce from the 4, 10, 15, 20, to the outside to the 30, and out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So the Wolverines, who have been unable to get it into the end zone today, will have to do just that. As they spot it at the 38-yard line, they'll need to move 62 yards with 2:43 to go in the game.
They have all their timeouts remaining, but they're going to have to get into their hurry-up offense at some point.
They send Bean to the left, Carter to the right, on 1st and 10 from the 38. At the 42-yard line. A bit underthrown. Sean Gale providing the coverage. Michigan with a decided advantage against opponents in the 4th period. You can throw out all the stats, though, when it's Michigan and Ohio State.
That has not been the case today.
Second down, 10 from the 38. Keeping, spun down at the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4. Anthony Griggs and Doug Hill converging on the tackle.
You would figure right now that Steve Smith would be looking first for number 1, Anthony Carter. You would also assume that Anthony Carter will be seeing double coverage.
No question. Carter is sent wide to the left, and Bean wide to the right. 3rd down and 4. He looks toward Carter, under pressure, then throws off the hands of Dunaway, with Carter slipping in behind and a marker down. And Garcia Lane in on the play.
No foul. Ball was tipped. No foul. Ball was tipped.
Disregard the flag.
Disregard the flag because the ball was tipped.
The interference is there. That's why the flag was thrown, but the ball was off the hands of Dunaway prior to it getting into Carter's area.
So the interference is nullified.
No penalty. 4th down and 4 from the 44. 1:59 to go in the game. 4th down. Smith for Dunaway, overthrows him. Ohio State to get it back. So the Buckeyes with possession. Michigan will have to use its timeouts on defense with 1:54 to go in the game. Buckeyes by 5. Earl Bruce and the Ohio State Buckeyes with a 14-9 lead. 1:54 remaining in the game. And the Buckeyes with a 1st and 10 at the Michigan 44-yard line. And what the Wolverines will have to do is call timeout now defensively, hold the Buckeyes, try to get it back. Schlichter. At quarterback. On a roll. He wants to stay in bounds. Down he goes at the 42-yard line. And timeout is called by the Wolverines.
He also wants to eliminate excessive ball handling, so that time he kept the ball himself.
Crowd today at Michigan Stadium, 106,043. Second largest crowd in Michigan history. Wolverines this year averaging 105,498.
We noted at the very top of the show the advantage of having a senior quarterback who has started every game since coming to Ohio State, that being Art Schlichter. Michigan, of course, going with a sophomore.
Schlichter has had better days, but he's had it when he's needed it today. Led him on that drive in the second period, 82 yards in for the touchdown, and then just a superb play with some help from Broadnax on a nice block, but it was Schlichter who went into the end zone on a 3rd and goal to make it 14-9. Our Chevy MVPs, Marcus Merrick, the linebacker for Ohio State, been all over the field today.
16 tackles for Merrick.
Anthony Carter, who's made 4 catches today, and run back kicks, the MVP for Michigan.
He has 127 yards in kickoff returns alone. He's added 37 more in punt returns.
And in each man's name, a $1,000 scholarship from Chevrolet to the General Scholarship Funds at Michigan and Ohio State. It's second down and 8 from the 43-yard line as Spencer gets inside the 40, barrels his way down to the 37-yard line, and the Wolverines immediately call timeout again, so they'll have one remaining with 1:37 left. Bo Schembechler. The ups and downs over the years. Confrontations year after year against Woody Hayes and now Earl Bruce. Upcoming will be a 3rd down and 3 with 1:37 to go, and the Buckeyes on top 14-9. Earl Bruce, Bo Schembechler with 1:37 remaining in the game. 3rd down and 3, Ohio State at the Michigan 37-yard line. If the Buckeyes can pick up the first down here, it'll be history. Michigan with 1 timeout left. Spencer plowing forward, stopped shy of the first down at the 35-yard line by Gergas. And they will spot it at the 35-yard line. 4th down upcoming, and Michigan utilizing its final timeout, taking it with 1:23 remaining in the game. Tim Spencer over the 100 mark today. He has had a very quietly effective afternoon. Been a big man for the Buckeyes.
He's been that way all season. He had over 1,000 yards coming into today's game.
So it's as simple as this now for Ohio State, a first down. And it's all over. If Michigan can hold, they will get the ball back, but they are out of timeouts. They're right now with 1:23.
They'll have to go entirely with a no-huddle offense. And the way they'll be stopping the clock is by throwing some incomplete passes.
I want to thank our statistician, George Hill. Our spotter doing a great job as always, Kelly J. Hayes. Coming up, of course, the second half of the doubleheader, SC against UCLA, with reports from Seattle on the Washington State game. And, of course, we'll keep you abreast as to the outcome in Iowa City, where the Hawkeyes lead Michigan State 16-0. If things continue as they are going right now, if Ohio State wins and if Iowa wins, it will be Iowa going to the Rose Bowl for the first time in 23 years. On 4th and inches, Spencer looks for the first down and has it. So Michigan out of timeouts and Ohio State keeping possession. And Mr. Earl Bruce just moments away from his second victory in 3 years over Bo Schembechler. touchdown Buckeyes, and the clock running with 1:15 remaining.
On 4th and 1, Spencer picks up the valuable first down yardage as the excitement builds along the Ohio State sideline.
All Schlichter has to do is fall down with it. And he'll have to do that one more time. And this one will go into the Bucks. So last year, as you look at the Michigan bench, Steve Smith summing it up. Just a sophomore. Sputtered at the beginning of the year, came on strong over the last 4 games. But today running into a most formidable foe. And it was Art Schlichter who had it when he needed it. And that will be the final play of the game. Buckeyes do not have to run off another one. Mr. Schlichter and his mates have a victory over Michigan and at least a share of the Big Ten championship. So if Iowa wins, it'll be the Hawkeyes going to the Rose Bowl.
But Art Schlichter will be remembered as a winner.
Earl Bruce gets the ride off the field as the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the Michigan Wolverines. The final score 14-9.